Hi everyone, my name is Aulina Jiwa. You can call me Aulia, and today I would like to share my understanding about the internal processing of second language execution. When we talk about internal processing, there are three internal factors that operate as people learn a second language execution. The first is filter, and the second is organizer, and the third is monitor. I will share my thoughts one by one, starting from the filter. Language learners do not always take in everything they hear. The motives require attitudes and emotional states that always filter what they hear and therefore influence the color and quality of language learning. We use the term filter to refer to these effective factors that filter out certain parts from the filter learned language environment. The filter itself is part of the internal processing system that unconsciously filter incoming language based on what psychological effects, namely the learner's motivations, attitudes, and emotional states. The filter also determines for things number one which the learner's target language model will choose, number two which part of the language to use. Attend first number 3 when language execution efforts should be made, and the listing is how quickly a learner can acquire the language. An example of filter is the student will choose certain types of words or vocabulary to learn and use over other, as children tend to do first. Learn phrases and sentences that are important for social participant. Now, I want to provide a deeper understanding of motivation itself. Motivation is mastering a second language can be considered as an instinctive need or desire that learners feel to learn a second language. There are three kinds of motivation. The first is integrative motivation, the second is instrumental motivation, and the last is social group motivation. So, the first integrative motivation to participate in the life of the community that speak the language, and the second instrumental to use the language for practical reasons such as getting a job on the future, and the last social group to acquire proficiency in language spoken by a social group with the learn identifies or native speaker, and another if you want to speak in English with another country. And the second is attitude. Attitude is a person's attitude, behavior in interacting with other people, which is accompanied by a tendency to act in accordance with that attitude. Attitude is also the most important component in forming a person's character. Therefore, we must have a good attitude. And the last is the learner's emotional. Do you know it also important? Why is it important? Because it influences the process of acquiring a second language. There are two kinds of emotional stage. The first is relaxation. The second is anxiety. Well, a number of studies have shown a relationship between long lives of anxiety and successful language execution. The less the learned anxiety, the better the language execution process. So now we move on the second point, namely the organizer. The organizer is the part of the language learner's mind that function unconsciously to organize the language system, gradually building a system of dual language rules in a certain way, and is used by the learners to produce sentences that are not learned through memorization properly. There are three phenomena that reflect the organizer. The first is the transitional construction, are language form used by learners when they are still learning the grammar of a language. The second phenomena is the types of errors And the last is the sequence of structure execution in the general order in which second language learns acquire this structure of the organizer of a new language mainly concerns the transition stage that will occur before the correct final form is obtained. Frequent errors in the learned speech and the sequence of execution of new language structure. Now we have come to the final factor of the internal processing in the SLA, which is the monitor. Well, the monitor is the part of the learner's internal system that consciously processes information when the learner memorizes the grammatical structure, rules, and tries to apply them consciously. That's all for me. Thank you. See you.